Hey friends, today we are going to read this European Classical Literature begc 102. Unit 1, Approaching the Iliad, the Epic and the Homeric Tradition. Structure, Objectives, Introduction, the story of the Iliad, approaching the Iliad, epics in Western literature, definition of an epic, characteristics of an epic, the Homeric tradition, classical epics. Let us sum up, hints to check your progress, glossary. The objectives. The Iliad is an ancient poem written in the Greek language. It was composed by the Greek poet Homer. Many of us do not know the Greek language, nor have we knowledge of the epic tradition and Greek civilization of those ancient days. So when we talk about the poem, the Iliad, we say it is all Greek to us. An English idiom meaning the poem is beyond our understanding. The objectives of this unit are to introduce the epic tradition and also to make the Homeric tradition known to you. The Iliad was composed around the 8th century BC. This makes the poem almost 3000 years old. We cannot talk about the epic tradition in isolation. It will be easy to learn about epic tradition if we relate it to the epic poem. Let us start with a brief summary of the Iliad and infer from it some of the salient features of an epic. From there, we will proceed to discuss the classical epics and the Homeric tradition. It is but natural for a proper study and analysis of the Iliad. The first requirement is to know the story. The Iliad deals with the events of the final weeks of the Trojan War, a war that had lasted for 10 years. If you recall, the Mahabharata, the ancient Indian epic, deals with 18 days of the Kurukshetra war. The Ramayana also devotes its main story to the last years of Rama's 14 years of exile when he fights with Ravana to restore Sita from Ravana's kingdom of Lanka. In the Iliad, the war is between the Greeks and the Trojans, triggered by the abduction of Helen by the Trojan prince. Paris, Helen was the wife of Menelaus, the brother of Agamemnon, the Greek commander. We can see a parallel in the Ramayana, where the war between Rama and Ravana was similarly triggered by the abduction of Sita by the demon king. Similarly, the Mahabharata war was between the Pandavas and the Kauravas following a cry revenge of Draupadi for the attempt at disrobing her by the Kauravas. We will look at the story of the Iliad in brief next.